What's up, everyone? We are back, and today we are installing this facelift 2.5 RS bumper, otherwise known as the version 5.6 STI bumper. So let's get into it. So here's a closer look at the bumper. The paint came out absolutely immaculate for the amount of time that they had it. I dropped it off on a Thursday and I had it back by Friday afternoon. So yeah, it came out perfect. Along with the bumper, we're also going to be installing the JDM lightweight bumper beam, new foglights, turn signals, and bumper vents. So let's get the old one off. There's two different ways to get the bumpers off of these cars. There's a faster way. I'm going to show you both methods. We're going to remove it the faster way, but first you're going to want to remove this bolt here, then that one down there. They're both 17 millimeters. And then same thing on this side, here and here. Then what you're going to want to do, you're going to move to the outside. You're going to grab a Phillips screwdriver. You're going to pull this pin out here that's already missing. There's a Phillips that's behind the inner fender well that's holding the back of the bumper up here. And then you'll get this one here also. You'll do that on both sides, so that side also. And then you'll get this one 10 millimeter underneath here. And then let's see, there's two underneath. They are right here, and it's a Phillips, but if it seems to be stripping out, it fits a 17 millimeter socket on the outside, so that makes it a little bit easier. You'll just have to push it on a little bit harder. But yeah, let's go ahead and get it off. First, you go ahead and remove this here. It's just like a little quarter turn. Pull that out. Usually you'll have one up here that holds into the last one on the fender, but this one does not. So you'll pry that down. Get it back a little bit. Then you'll take your Phillips screwdriver and you'll feel it. There's a little pin on the outside. Yep, and then you'll start loosening that. There it is. Boom, that's what that one is on the inside there, just upside down. So cool. Now we'll move to the other side. So the ones underneath are a little trickier. Let's see. Here they are. A little trickier to reach, but once you get them and they're loose, you go ahead and take them right off. That one's out. Slide to the other side. Next step, we're going to pull it out a little bit from the front of the car. Here, I can show you on the inside. You got this little tab down here that's actually on the bumper beam, and then it'll hook in here so it doesn't completely fall off, and that'll also aid when trying to put it back on for taking the weight so you can get your screws back in. But yeah, so let's go ahead and drop this down. So you're gonna stand. Oh yeah. Don't forget the one on the bottom in the middle, because it will not come off unless you undo that. There it goes. Next up, you're going to want to get your turn signals unplugged. The bumper should be free. Now that we got that off, I'm actually going to go ahead and take a minute to clean up this, because obviously it's not often that you have this off. Just have Simple Green and water to rinse it off. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so that was definitely the fast way to get the bumper completely off. For reinstalling, what we are going to have to do is continue removing stuff. So we're going to go ahead and get the grill off, get the headlights, and the corner lights. So I'll show you the few bolts that you have to take off for that. So now that the grill's off, you have one screw on the top of the corner light here. So you have that one screw, and what you're gonna do is just pop that out, kind of finagle that through, and what you can do, just take the whole lens off. You can leave the light bulb in, no worries. And then for the headlight, you have these two on the front. All of these will be 10 mil. Now you have two on this side. Make sure to keep pressure against the headlight to the body so it doesn't fall out when all the screws are off. So now it's loose. Go ahead and unplug the headlight bulb itself. So that will be free. Then yeah, that's how that is. So we just got to repeat that on the other side. Now that you got everything off, you can go ahead and reinstall the JDM bumper beam. So same thing, just go ahead and push it in. And that's it. So we'll get our bolts that we originally had in there and put them back in. Alright, that's mounted up. Next thing we're going to do is install the harness for the Foglights. This is just one I quick made up. These are the actual ends that are mated for the new Foglights. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and show how this goes in. It's kind of cool. Subarus are already pre-wired for the Foglights, through the harness at least. So there's this simple plug here. I'll bring you in closer. So as you can see, there is a little plug taped to the harness behind the left headlight, that's actually for your fog lights. So what I did, since I don't have that plug, I just made a 2-piece here that'll slide in there, and the actual connectors for the fog lights themselves. So yeah, we'll go ahead and put this in, and hopefully the length is good. So that actually went ahead and turned out perfect for length. What I am gonna do is take these little holes on the backside. We won't be using those for anything, but I'm gonna take a small zip ties and zip tie the harness to the back here, and then it should just drape down to about here so we can plug it into the back of the fog light. So now that we got the harness on there, what we can do is go ahead and start putting together the bumper. So I will have all the part numbers and everything in the description, but this is the backing plate for the fog lights. So there's just the 3 holes, these 3, and then there's just some bent up tabs. And what they do, it just goes in there and then slides up. Pretty easy. So for the screws to hold the actual fog light in, that'll go through the front of the fog light, through the bumper and into this, I went ahead and got some M6 by 1.0 by 20 millimeters. I would suggest maybe a 15 millimeter because they are a little bit long. I don't think it's gonna affect anything, but for right now, these are the only ones I could find in stock. But I don't think they'll affect anything. They'll just be a little bit long on the backside. So first thing, for mounting the fog, you're gonna put your harness through, pull it through, hold it on the backside. Then you'll take your top screw, put that one in. That one started. Get that one pretty close. Then you'll go ahead and put the other 3 in. That looks good. So we'll go ahead and snap in the bumper vent. It's pretty easy. Just has these tabs on the side. This will go in the bottom. So yeah, just go ahead and push that in. That's how that sits. And then we'll move to the back to install the turn signal. What you'll do is put the turn signal harness through there. There's a little clip on the corner here. Then you'll put that through. the screw that I ended up using for this is the same screw for the top of the corner light. Seems to work out really well. And that's all, that's fully mounted. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and slide to the other side, mount everything up, and then we should be able to throw it on the car. Let's take a look at the front. Awesome. So yeah, we'll go ahead and rob these retainers off the front of this bumper, and then we'll go ahead and throw it on there. Now that you got that all installed, what you can do, you go ahead and put on the front bumper like this. What I would do is keep a screwdriver here, put it through the main hole in the middle, and then what you can do is get your plugs from behind and plug in the fog light and the turn signal. Turn signal is the white plugs, then the black plug is for the fog light. What I also would suggest is getting the actual liner in. Now that that's on, we can go ahead and put the retainers back in. Instead of going with the old style, I ended up picking up some new ones. Basically, they're the same size on the bottom, but they're a lot cleaner, and they're gonna be easier to remove because the Phillips on the plastic end always seems to strip out when you're trying to remove it. So this will be a little bit easier. Just pry up the sides and it will come out. One thing before getting the sides put on, we'll go ahead and put this middle one in. Now that that's good, this is when we can move over to each side. First thing you want to do when putting the sides back on, you'll take the bigger clip here that'll go through here and into the bottom of the fender. What I suggest probably is taking the screw out itself, getting that part pushed in, then you can pull it back, line it up with the hole. Good. Then what you can do, pull this panel over, make sure it's all behind it. You'll get that over. Put that one through. That one's in. Same thing up here. Put that one through, pop that one in. That one's all good. Then you can do the same thing on the other side. After getting both sides done, one thing you don't want to forget is the screws on the bottom. So get that one in. Now that you got everything back on, one thing you are going to want to do before putting all the headlights and everything back in is make sure everything's connected and working properly. So let's get everything on. Everything seemed to work out fine. So I will go into the explanation of how that actually works. The harness is on the inside, so we will step inside the car before we go ahead and put that on to explain how you need to make it to work with the factory switch and everything. Okay, to go about getting the factory switch in, you're going to go ahead and take off this clip first. Then you'll slide underneath. There's a screw underneath there, as well as there's one right in the corner here. Then let's set you on the tripod. We'll get that off, and then I'll explain more. All right, so now that you got that off, this plug, if you don't have anything on there, will just be stuck up like this. So, has, let's see, 5 wires going to it, and that will plug in to any of the normal switches. But what you have this relay that is not actually on the car before the fog lights, but there's the plug, let's see, that it's plugged into, that's behind it, has this blue tape, and it's actually stuffed behind the hood release latch, up in there, taped against the wiring harness. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull it off, get one of these relays. It's the same thing. There's 3 of them stacked up here. And then you're going to pull those, get a second one, I guess, plug it in. It actually snaps into the side of the fuse block. And then you'll go ahead and plug into the back of the fog light switch, and then everything should work properly. So let's reassemble this. Okay, so we'll step back outside again. Now that you got it all back together, everything seems to be working fine. What you can do, go ahead and put the headlights back in. I would suggest doing yourself a favor. Add the anti-seize or never seize to all of the hardware going back in. You'll much appreciate it the next time you go to take it out and it's not stuck in there. So same thing, 2 in the front. These are the ones with the shoulders are on the front, and then you'll have these ones with the washers that go on the sides. Don't forget to plug in the headlight. Then we go ahead and install the corner light again. I will be going ahead and getting the OEM clear corners because these ones don't have the most perfect fitment. These are just eBay corners, but yeah, they look good. So now that side's done, we can move to the other side. Yeah, see, that one fits much better. But now we can go ahead and install the grill. Well, since one of the tabs is broken behind here to hold this up, I had to go, I got a zip tie to do that, and I didn't have it. So I went to my uncle's, and I know he's watching, so thank you for the zip tie. Wow, guys, this actually turned out awesome. Yeah, it looks really good. The hood clearly does not match. I think I'm actually gonna try and call the painter tonight and see if I can get that sent off to paint this week. Got a car show coming up this weekend. But yeah, it looks awesome. Fitment is great. I mean, it's OEM, so can't get much better than that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and throw all the lights on. Yeah, as you can see, the fog lights are definitely a halogen bulb, where these are LED. We are going to go get that switched out. I got those ordered, as well as the turn signals. Those are your standard incandescent, so those will be swapped out, and then the whole front will be the LED conversion. But yeah, let's wait till it gets a little bit dark out so we can aim these. One other thing, the fog lights only come on if the headlights are on. So in the next video, I'll update you guys. I want to get it to where I can adjust the markers and the fog lights on with the headlights off. So I'm gonna go into the little harness plug and probably switch some over, or maybe make a pigtail to a different connector to make that work. So awesome. Thank you guys. Catch you when it gets a little darker. All right, everyone, we are back. So let's go ahead and see the output. I've been trying this for a minute now that it's dark out, and the headlights are so bright that you can barely see the fog lights, but I have a piece of cardboard next to us that we're gonna stuff in front of the headlights to aim the fogs. So this is the headlights alone, and then you can see on the bottom there's the fogs turning on and off, and you can see it on the trees a little bit. So let's go out and go outside. So it's much brighter. Let's go ahead and what I plan to do, see if we can stuff this in there. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, the only output is from the fogs now. So let's see if we can adjust these. The adjustment is in right here. Let's see. If we tighten it. So if we loosen it, it tilts up, and if we tighten it, it goes down. You can see, you can barely see the optical pivoting in the bottom, but give me a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust this, and then I'll come back to you when I get it finished. Okay, so that's what I ended up with the fog lights. You can kind of see them over here, like on the tree line. It seems to be good, and then kind of over here. But yeah, I think for the output of the fog lights, it's pretty good. We will be upgrading them to the LEDs themselves, so we'll have to probably readjust again. But yeah, that I think that's pretty good output for the model lights that we have. So awesome. Thank you guys. I will see you in the next one. We're getting ready for Flat 4 Fest. So we got a few things that we want to tie up before then, and we'll see you there. All right, see you later, guys. Bye. I'm inside my own world.
it